Ryan rents an apartment. Tom buys a house. They both think they made the responsible adult decision. Only one of them is right, and the gap between them after 10 years might be the most expensive assumption either of them ever made. Let's keep this fair. Ryan and Tom both have $82,000 saved. They both earn the same income, same city, same age, same starting point. Tom uses his $82,000 as a 20% down payment on a $410,000 house, just about the national median home price right now. He locks in a 30-year mortgage at 6.5%, today's typical rate. His monthly principal and interest payment comes out to $2,073. Add property taxes, insurance, and routine maintenance, and Tom's real monthly housing cost is $2,941. Ryan takes his $82,000 and puts it straight into a total market index fund. He rents an apartment for $1,750 a month, which is the national average right now. That's $1,191 less than Tom pays every month for his house. And Ryan invests every dollar of that difference instead of spending it. On day one, Tom has a front door with his name on the mortgage. Ryan has a brokerage account and a rent receipt. Tom feels like he did the adult thing. Ryan's family keeps asking when he's going to stop throwing money away on rent. That phrase gets said at literally every holiday dinner in America, and it's about to matter a lot less than everyone thinks. Year one, Tom's mortgage payment builds a small amount of equity. His home value ticks up slightly, and he can point to a house and say, "I own that." Ryan's portfolio grows quietly in the background. Nobody asks Ryan how his index fund is doing at Thanksgiving. Nobody ever does. Let's run the actual math through year 10. Tom's home, appreciating at a realistic average of 3.5% a year, is now worth about $578,000. His mortgage balance has been paying down the whole time, and after 10 years of payments, he owes roughly $278,000. That puts his total equity at about $300,000. Not bad. Tom genuinely built real wealth. Ryan's portfolio tells a different story. His original $82,000, growing at a long-run average of 10% annually, has become about $213,000 on its own. But he was also investing that $1,191 monthly difference the entire time. Add that in, and Ryan's total portfolio after 10 years is approximately $451,000. Tom has $300,000 in equity. Ryan has $451,000 in liquid diversified investments. The gap is about $150,000, and it happened without Ryan doing anything except not spending the difference. Run this out another 10 years, and the gap doesn't shrink. It explodes. By year 20, Tom's equity is around $633,000. Ryan's portfolio is approaching $1.4 million. The compounding on Ryan's side simply outpaces a single leveraged asset, appreciating at a modest, realistic rate. Here's what nobody tells you about this comparison, and it's the single most important number in this entire video. None of this math holds universally. It depends entirely on one ratio, the price-to-rent ratio in your specific city. Divide the home price by the annual rent for a comparable property. Nationally right now, that ratio sits around 19 to 20. Financial researchers generally consider anything above 20 a strong signal that renting and investing the difference will outperform buying. Anything below 15 tips meaningfully in favor of buying. Between 15 and 20 is a genuine toss-up that depends on how long you plan to stay and what the market does. In cities like San Francisco or San Jose, that ratio runs as high as 36 to 40. Renting is dramatically cheaper relative to buying, and the math in this video actually understates how much Ryan would win there. In more affordable metros like Oklahoma City or parts of Texas, the ratio drops closer to 13 to 18, and in those markets, Tom's version of the story starts looking a lot better, sometimes even winning outright. This video used the national median. Your city might tell a completely different story, and that's not a caveat. That's the entire point. If I only showed you the case for renting, I wouldn't be giving you the full picture, because buying has real advantages that a spreadsheet alone doesn't fully capture. Tom's mortgage payment is forced savings. Every month, a piece of that payment becomes equity, whether he feels disciplined or not. Ryan's advantage requires him to actually invest that $1,191 difference every single month for 10 straight years without touching it. And the honest data on this is not encouraging. Most people who could theoretically outinvest a mortgage payment simply don't have the discipline to do it consistently. If Ryan spends even half of that difference instead of investing it, Tom's outcome wins comfortably. There's also leverage working in Tom's favor, in a way this video hasn't fully credited yet. Tom controlled a $410,000 asset with $82,000 down. Every percentage point of appreciation on that home applies to the full $410,000, not just his down payment. That's the same leverage mechanic that makes real estate historically effective at building wealth for people who hold long enough to ride out the volatility. And Tom's monthly payment, once he's on a fixed-rate mortgage, is locked. Ryan's rent isn't. Average rents have climbed faster than overall inflation in a majority of U.S. counties over the last several years, and Tom is insulated from every one of those increases for the life of his loan. Buying wins clearly in a few specific identifiable situations. If your local price-to-rent ratio is under 15, the math tilts toward buying almost regardless of the other variables. If you plan to stay in the same home for 15 years or more, the fixed costs of buying and selling get diluted across enough time that appreciation and paydown do the heavy lifting. And if you house hack, buying a duplex or a home with a rentable unit and living in part of it, you can combine Tom's leverage with Ryan's cash flow, which is a genuinely different and often superior third path this video hasn't modeled at all. Ryan and Tom both walked into their decision thinking they knew which one was smarter. Tom thought buying was the obviously responsible choice. Ryan thought renting was obviously throwing money away. Neither of them checked the one number that actually decides it. The real trap isn't renting and it isn't buying. It's making a six-figure decision based on what your family says at dinner instead of the price-to-rent ratio in your own zip code. And if you're now wondering what happens when you combine both, buying a primary home while also investing aggressively at the same time, that's a completely different video, and the math there gets genuinely interesting. But for now, before anyone tells you renting is wasting money or buying is a trap, ask one question. What's the price-to-rent ratio where you actually live? Because that number, not the opinion at the dinner table, is the only one that decides who wins this.